Hey y'all, I wanted to take the time now that I have the time to make a new video, as I'm trying my best to be a little more consistent on that. But today I just wanted to discuss compassion and how to develop compassion if you're struggling in that category. I'm also baking, so we're gonna do this together while I chit chat. I'm gonna be making some macarons. I'm actually going to be making large shells. They're going to turn into sandwiches, but I'm going to get a spatula. Anyways, I just felt compelled to talk about compassion because there are times where I go into, dry spells where I struggle in that category, and I begin to kind of go back into my old self, and it's sometimes discouraging because I've worked really hard to get to where I'm at today, and it really helps my relationship with others and definitely myself as well. But I also have to remember, and we all have to remember that that might happen a few more times, I'm just saying, that also is a part of the path. Getting off of the path is a part of the path, and there is no such thing as perfection, as we all know, but sometimes we do need a reminder, because I know that I get lost in my head, and naturally, one of my downfalls is it being a perfectionist, and that actually causes more harm than it does good for me, being honest. Some people are like, oh, it's a good thing, I'm a perfectionist. And it's like, yeah, but, the only one who is mostly suffering with that is you, because I can tell you right now, it's different for someone else with their lens compared to your lens. But getting back on topic, which is compassion. Compassion is extremely important. I cannot stress how important compassion is. It's our true nature. Our true nature is to be compassionate, to be loving, to be understanding. It is, a portion and is unconditional love. And more as to why it's important, which we all obviously know, is that all of the good things, the pure things, the things with pure intentions, things like the food bank and people tipping and donating and helping and listening to you and lending you a shoulder to cry on, and I'm here for you. All of that, it's compassion. It starts with that. And sometimes we forget, even the word compassion, because I can tell you right now, if I am not locked in and hyper focused on Dharma and what I'm doing, then I really don't see that word, and or hear about it ever being talked about, which is fine. It's okay. We're distracted. We are, in what we're doing. Been there, done that, but basically we're all reflections of each other. We are the universe. No, uni meaning one. So therefore, all of you is me and all of me is you, and it goes on and on and on and on, and etc. And that is why what we give is what we get. Everything is mirrored because we are the universe. And when you are compassionate towards others, you are going to get that right back at you. And that is just such a beautiful, lovely thing. There have been times where, there's been a lack of compassion in my life. And that was because, that is my fault. My fault being that it's not what I'm putting out. I'm not radiating love and compassion towards all beings. Therefore, it's going to be what I'm going to get back. So, moral of the story, you want people to be more loving and kind towards you, more helpful, etc. you have to give that back. And I know it sounds selfish because it's like you focused, but you know, you are the universe, and enlightenment and, you know, wanting to love others, it does start from the self. It starts from you, because obviously you want to be taken care of, you want to have a good life, and you want others to be taken care of and to have a good life. So, you know, it really goes both ways. We all have selfish tendencies, because we are the self, and we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to also remember to enjoy our time here on the planet, but don't get lost in it and go on to a whole other form of selfishness. I think that there's like different forms of it. You know, it's a spectrum along with everything else. But I noticed, you know, especially working in the customer service industry, when I genuinely actually began to start feeling compassionate towards strangers and everybody around me, you know, just radiating love, and that I love them and I don't know who they are and I genuinely want to help them, everything is just so lovely and pleasant. You know, every interaction is just bliss. It's amazing. And the people that I meet, because deep down they know and they feel, maybe they're not consciously aware of it, maybe some are, some have been and let me know, but it's just amazing. And the connections that I've made, and you know, the right people at the right time, and everything, because you're looking through that lens, becomes so pure and beautiful, because that is our, you know, true frequency, which is unconditional love. And to feel that towards, you know, others, we got to develop compassion. So a technique that really, really works for me, I mean, there's others, they may not be as realistic, you know, because I've tried a lot of things, you know, of course, books and stuff like that, YouTube videos and blah, blah, blah. But the real practice is not you watching things, it's you just getting out there and trying different things and doing it. So for me specifically, what has helped me is I'll kind of do a meditation with myself. It can be at work, it can be anywhere, even when you're driving, going to bed, etc. Close your eyes, be sedentary, and just imagine someone that you love very much. That could be your mother, it could be your dad, it could be your loved one, your grandmother, etc. I mean, anybody. And just imagine them, and I hate to say this, but it's really the only thing that works for me, and it's fast acting. And you know, if it works, it works, because you're going to use it and eventually benefit them as well in a state that you don't like seeing them in. For example, a state of suffering, you know, and visualize that, and you're there with them, and you're standing there, and that immediate feeling that comes up, that, oh my God, you know, let me hold you, let me love you, let me comfort you, let me take the pain away. Please don't feel the pain. I'll take the pain if you don't have to suffer. That feeling right there, once you feel it, hold on to it, get close and intimate with that feeling, and get to know it. And the more and more and more that you do this practice, the better that you're going to get with just on cue compassion. And then it becomes your natural nature. So for me personally, it started off being more compassionate with my inner circle, the people that I work with, family, of course, friends, any loved ones, people that I love dearly that are connected with me in this life. For some and others, it can be a little harder. Enemies, that's a different story, and people you've had beef with. We'll get to that if I remember. I'm sorry. And then you extend that outward as you build your strength, building that compassion. There are many other techniques as well, in different forms of meditation. It really is endless. But honestly, the best thing is that extend that as far as you can, and realize that every single being that you see, one, is you, is a reflection of yourself, and that living thing is somebody's baby. That could be your wife, your husband, your son, your nephew, your daughter, your niece, your child. You know, we're all just different characters in this play, but in essence, it's you. And so it's extremely important to just go back to that, because we are in the degenerate times, we're in the hard times right now. But when you do that and you extend that love and that compassion towards all beings, and you carry it with you all day, it becomes subconscious and it becomes your natural nature. And because of that, you're going to just keep manifesting love. And what you're giving is what you're going to receive, because that's your frequency. And it just blossoms from there as it's your resting state. You know, and one thing that I really want to just mention, I'm just being called to say this, is what you see in others is what you bring out in them. That's the truth. That really, 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 really is the truth. It's hard, but focus on their beauty, focus on their love, focus on what they're good at, how amazing they are, you know, how they shine, you know. And this is something that I had to do with my enemies. And naturally there are certain, in my unenlightened state, there are certain, I guess, people that appear a certain way that I naturally have prejudice against, and I'm very assuming, which is completely unfair to them for me to just assume things and to just judge. But it's a bad habit, and I'm kicking that habit out slowly but surely. And that habit is really leaving, and I call it bullshit, and I don't believe it in anymore, because those people that I used to just immediately judge and see them as bad and ignorant and a horrible person, and, you know, this and superficial and into this and that, because I'm not as much like that anymore. Every single time, whether it's someone new that comes into my life or someone that I meet, they blossom into the most beautiful individual, and I become to unconditionally love them and care about them. And it's because I gave them a chance. I opened my mind and I said, that's not who they truly are. You know, it's all props, you know, and you don't know if that person's insecure, or you never know someone's story. You really don't. We've all been raised completely differently, and that is okay. Everything is justifiable. You know what I mean? I'm really at a point to where I can put myself in anyone's shoes, and if they explain it, then I can understand. I will say that there are states of ignorance, and there are delusions and spells, you know, people can be under. You know, we all have them. We're not perfect. I have a lot to learn. I'm still ignorant. I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm, you know, a spiritual being living a, you know, human experience. And it's hard, but this is one thing that makes it a lot easier. And it opens you up to so many more opportunities, whether it be through love, career, health, you know, and of course, vibing at these frequencies, it does heal your body, because it is where it's supposed to be at, instead of stressing and attachment and worrying and anger. Really, just no. Don't get into that. Don't tap into that. That is not, no. But yeah, that was just a brief little talk. I know probably 14-15 minutes, but it's something that I think is really, really important. And it will change your life, because it changed mine and so many others' lives. And you're going to benefit so many others, because we're all connected. And that will become your reality. Love and kindness. And the most important thing is just just be nice to people, please. Please be nice. Don't judge. Don't judge. It's a habit, but just, this is somebody's baby. This was probably my mother in a previous life. This was once my lover. I have the potential to become close to this person. If I sit down and get a beer with this person, I will fall in love with them as a person. I will admire them. You know, that's really the thing to remember. And to be kind also, because you would want to be, you know, someone to be kind to you. It feels good and it's contagious and it spreads. So let's keep that going, because times can be hard. They are hard right now, but we can shift and change that slowly, person by person, action by action, thought by thought, and feeling by feeling. Otherwise, I'm going to finish these macarons, and I love you dearly and deeply. If you have any topics that you would want me to talk about, or if you have any video suggestions, just please let me know. I'm very open-minded, and we'll see where it goes. Thank you again for your time and for listening. I appreciate you. But thank you so much, and have a good rest of your week. And also, one other thing that I completely forgot to mention, look how these are coming out, by the way. I'm doing like little swirls. Is that even when you're not like in the mood to like chit chat and all that, and you're tired, especially like me when I'm at work and I've had like a long day and I'm like helping people and stuff like that, if you're still radiating that frequency, that love and compassion, and you're kind of like, you know, you're just in a mood, but your intentions are pure, like you're hoping you're not hurting their feelings, and or you know that you love them, but you're just like, you're not able to be all extra or whatever, you're still gonna get that back. Because there's been so many times where like I was appearing like an asshole, and then people felt like compassion towards me. Like, for example, they asked me like, how's your day going, are you okay? You know, it's amazing, because I've never ever experienced that before in my life. Whereas even if I am not in that compassionate, you know, state, but I'm like in a good mood, and I'm just doing my job, and I am doing things for like my own personal benefit with selfish intent, you're gonna get that back. People are gonna be more selfish. They're not gonna tip. They are going to be more cold and cut with you. You're gonna feel that energy. You're not gonna feel that warm, tingly, goosebump, loving feeling. You know what I mean? Because I'm not exaggerating. It does feel like that with like a lot of interactions. Like you feel it or you don't, and we all have that sense. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to add that in there, that, you know, it's not an excuse to like be an asshole because you're like, oh, I'm radiating love. No, I'm just saying like you don't have to be like doing absolutely everything and going the extra mile for every single customer, because that also is unrealistic, especially if it's busy. And I'm talking about this in all other things that many of us do and things that occupy our time. But just with the pure intentions, radiating love and compassion, treating people with kindness, yes, go the extra mile if you can. It's good karma. It comes back to, I promise. What you appreciate appreciates you, you know? So just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you.